And we are live on Spiritual Events Directory page. Woohoo! We are 3 minutes late, but that's okay. It's Wellness Conversations, the Woo Woo series, and my name is Michelle Scott. The Woo Woo series is presented by our wellness community. We're on every Sunday evening between 6 and 7 p.m. We love having you all join us, and of course, we want you to share, and show us to, all of your friends and family that are like-minded souls. And if you do join us every Sunday evening between 6 and 7, you know that I always have somebody fabulous in this space. And tonight isn't any different to that. My special guest tonight is OptiMystic Xzavia, intuitive healer and psychic medium.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
you. When I first met you, Xzavia, and I said, "Oh, how do you say your name?" And you said, "Say it how it's spelt."
Yeah, say all the letters. Yeah, Xzavia. Yeah, be creative.
Say all the letters. I love it. And now, Xzavia, I love how you've put it like this: energetic freedom specialist, psychic medium, intuitive healer, channeler, massage therapist, and twin flame, here to be of service and to assist the world, our community, our audience tonight on their journey. So what you specialise in so many things. We're going to talk about all of that, but welcome to the show. Why don't we start off, Xzavia, with why? Why do you do what you do?
Why? Gosh, it's like the biggest question ever, isn't it? Like,
It is a big question because it's such a journey, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, because we all have a reason that we're here, and we have like things to learn in this life. And if you're lucky enough to sort of figure out what they are, I got shown that I'm supposed to help people wake up. I'm supposed to be shiny and help as many souls as I can work out how to have a happier, more optimistic life.
Yes.
So that's my job. That's why I got into it. And I just wanted to help people. So
Yeah. And was it something that you felt? For me, I had the urge to help others with my Life Path 9 in numerology. I had the urge to help others long before I started helping myself, long before I knew what that was. I was just, I saw someone being bullied one day in the playground, and I immediately ran up and helped. Was it the same for you?
Yeah, I wanted to help people with my hands. So even as a kid, I always used to, like, when mum and dad had friends over, I'd be up and they'd be having dinner, and I'd go give the other people like shoulder massages. And they'd always say, "Oh, you're so good with your hands." And I felt like I was doing something good if I used my hands. And so I always wanted to be a massage therapist, because that's really all I knew, all I could think of, like that would be helping with your hands without having to like go to school forever. So massage, I finally did massage, but it took I wanted to enroll straight after high school, but then I met my husband at the time. We just saved, and I deferred, and I didn't start it till I had my 3 children. And so after I had my kids, I finally went to massage school, but that is what woke up everything, because some of my teachers were spiritual, some were sporty. I'd always had oracle cards and crystals that I was given to a lady who I thought was very woo-woo back then. And now I know I'm her. I thought, she was a bit weird. But now I'm like, oh, wow, now I get it. But, so I had these things, and I'd always play with them. And then I started just learning. I met so many interesting people, and I started learning. I met my first mentor. I did my first course, and I realized that when I was learning, I was actually remembering.
Yeah.
From anytime, if anyone's ever interested in this kind of work, you're actually remembering things you've already done before, the knowledge that you already have. You're just unlocking it. So if you're interested, a lot of people say, how do you know if you can become psychic? It's like, well, if you're interested, you already are. You just need to remember how to do it. So some things you'll learn. You might dabble in numerology or try a bit of astrology or play with some cards, and some things you'll be really you'll become more natural, like you'll just get it. Other things are like, oh, maybe not for me. So the things that you sort of click with are things you've done before. And
absolutely agree. And as you say, we start we actually start to wake up to that very early on. We don't even know why. As you said, you were attracted to that mentor, and for me, long before I knew
Yes.
I knew there was such a thing as spiritual or that all of those, tools existed. I was just naturally drawn to psychics and naturally drawn to
readings here and there.
Yes.
And people would always come to me for advice. Did they do that to you?
Yes.
Yes, and you just somehow you knew the answers. I remember getting asked things that I shouldn't have known at my age, but I just knew. And people would, like, actually, I'd had arguments with my parents. I remember, like, they'd say, how'd you know that? Where'd you read that? It's like, I just know. I just know. I don't know why I know.
You don't know how you know. Now, I'm just checking, are we in the, I think I'm in the right spot. Just making sure that I'm on the right page here for spiritual events directory. Maybe I'm not. Can you check on your phone there? Lovely. I might have I gone into the wrong group here?
Oh, really?
That would not be, oh, no, I'm in the right group. Awesome. Just couldn't see it there straight away. Now, audience, just a couple of things before we delve into some complimentary readings. You know, we love to give you the gift of, that insight, that guidance, you know, and as you know, my guests each and every week all have different, they have different levels of ability, they have different tools. There's all sorts of different ways in which those messages come out and through to you. However, it is complimentary and it is only for the time that we are live. And it's also about giving and receiving. It's about energy. What goes out comes back in. We love that beautiful figure 8, if you like, of energy coming in and flowing out. So I've put Xzavia's community. The link to Xzavia's community is in the post. We would love you each and every week. We'd love you to join the community of our special guest and then to come back and tell us you've done it. And then, we like to offer, and this is another thing I have to mention, because a couple of weeks ago I offered some complimentary numerology reports, and there were 2 ladies that was offered to. And I've only heard from one of you. So the other lady that won that complimentary report was Amanda Jane. So if you're watching tonight, if you see this on replay, then please message me and you will get a complimentary numerology report that gives you fantastic insight into who you are, where you are, why you are there, and what's up ahead. And similarly for tonight, if you've got a question, pop your question. If your question is clear, if there's an answer that to the question that you would like answered in this session, pop the question there. Xzavia's got all sorts of tools, and we can answer that. I'm also going to do, if you're feeling stuck and you would like to know, how to come through that, I'll also be, and we go to wherever we are drawn. Okay, we can't read for everybody during the hour that we are on, but we do our best, and we try to get to as many of you as we can. But I'm also offering tonight some first key readings. So if you pop your first name into the comment, and then I can just as we go through, we're going to chat and read, and we'll come and I'll do some first key readings for some of you. So let's have a little look-see. So Xzavia, when you are most in flow, when you're in flow and you just get you're not even aware of past, present and future. When you are in that flow, what are you doing in your business that really puts you into that, hours just fly by and you just feel so content and full?
Oh, that's just when I'm helping, I'm helping somebody, and then they have the little light bulb moments when they realize, that's how energy works, and that's how the law of attraction. That's my favorite thing to teach, is just how to make your life work for you. So I love all those little aha moments, and I just feel so fulfilled, like being able to help and do things and teach people. It's like, oh, good, another person has got it, and they remember, and then I can trying to teach them to get into some new good habits to change their life. It only takes about a week of getting into these habits and being consistent, because I love seeing clients, but I don't want to teach people. I don't heal people. I hold space for you to heal yourself, and I want to teach people how to maintain that. I can balance the chakras, clear past lives, do all sorts of cool things, but then you need to do your homework, because if you don't do your homework, you'll be back spending money with me again in 2 months, and that's fine if you want, but I'd rather you learn some tools for yourself. So
Yes, I agree. It's certainly a practice. Well, here we go, because Xzavia specialises, ladies and gents, in past life healing and release, chakra balance, inner goddess work for singles and couples. And, besides the one-on-one mentoring and the teaching and showing you how to manifest the life you want, you do a lot of twin flame work, yes, Xzavia. And I've got a fantastic question here for you. Tracy Munro, hello to Tracy. I would like to know if my person will be here in the next 3 months.
Oh, I wonder why 3 months.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good time frame. So if your person will be here in the next 3 months. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to use my
card. Gail and Bernadette and Laura, thank you for joining us. Karen, yay, we've got lots of lovely ladies on with us tonight, Xzavia.
Beautiful, hi. All right, so my cards are energy oracle cards. It's a beautiful deck, and they're really good with specific questions. So it was Tracy, wasn't it? Tracy.
Yes, Tracy.
Is her person going to be? And I'm going to check the energy around, because they're energy cards. Check the energy around. Yeah. Will they be there within the next 3 months? And then I'm going to see what that says, because I feel like if yes or no, I'm going to see if there's anything else she needs to do to help that along.
Wonderful. Sounds
rather
great.
Than just giving an answer. Yeah, tool to use. I'm going to do both, actually, 2 cards at once.
Ooh.
So what's the energy of them coming along, and then what do you need to do to help it along?
Fantastic.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Woohoo! All right, I love it. I got 2. They're both actually chakra-based oracle cards. So the first one is the heart chakra. So the question was, are they going to come along? And that's the heart chakra and healing, the beautiful green energy of Archangel Raphael. If I'm going to show a bit closer there. So that shows me that you're going to have a very happy heart, and that somebody will be coming along. But what you need to do is the throat chakra. And it's funny, 2 chakra cards coming up at once. So guess what that means? You actually got to speak up, and I think there's somebody that's showing me you actually need to ask yourself. Ooh. You need to actually ask somebody. You need to make the first move.
Wow.
So you need to speak up a little bit. So there's somebody you might meet and you're interested in, but they might be a bit more shy than you. And as I said that, I feel like she's going to say, well, shyer than me. So you need to actually ask them, I think, could take that step and learn to express. Yeah, it's a bit of a lesson for you in saying what you want and asking for what you'd like, and being a bit brave. So keeping that throat chakra balanced. So in the next 3 months, I'd be wearing lots of green and pink for the heart chakra, and then blue when you want to communicate or ask somebody out on a date or for a cuppa. Since we're allowed out of the house and we're allowed to go do that now. It can be in real life.
Fantastic. And I'm not sure, I've got 108 tiles here, which are just beautiful. And look, I was just talking to you about flow, and I actually look at the card that came out, flow. And 4 plus 3 down the bottom there, it's number 43. 4 plus 3 is 7. So I would add to that, Tracy, that you have to trust. You have to actually trust that you've, that you deserve it, that you've earned it, that you are worthy of it. And it says here to add a favourable outcome. So following on from what Xzavia said, step back and allow situations to flow from one to another without interference. So there's a real sort of, sometimes we miss that synchronicity. So if you trust in the synchronicity of it, and then if you do, as Xzavia said, usually with expression, you feel it, but we don't want to, and we ignore it, or we're too shy. But if you feel the need to say it, you've got to go with it, eh?
Otherwise you can block it, and that's how we get tickles in our throat, coughs, sore throats, infections, because we're not speaking our truth. We're not saying what we're supposed to say. So
yes.
Yeah, pay attention if you ever get that in your throat.
Yes, exactly. Now, Melissa has joined your page, Xzavia, so we're going to, let's see if she's Melissa Ireland. Now, do you have a question, Dales, or we'll wait to see if she posts a question. They do tend to come in quite quickly, so it's quite the it's a lovely little juggling act that I have going on this end, Xzavia, trying to.
Good job.
Right, let's have a little look. See, it's beautiful. We've got 29 lovely ladies watching us. We'll come back to you, Kendall. And as I said, go to Xzavia's community. The link is in the post. We would love you to join. We're offering free readings during this live. So I'll write that down. Oh, okay, we're getting some lovely, lovely questions coming through. Oh, beautiful, Tracy Munro. Thank you. Oh, wow, that was so amazing. Yippee, there you go.
Makes sense. That's good.
Yeah, that is absolutely terrific. So let me go down the page.
Go get yourself some new lingerie, Tracy.
How lovely. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit down, a little bit further down. Now, oh, beautiful. We've got a bit of feedback there. And, of course, Xzavia can come in after the show and go through some of the comments. And if she feels drawn to, she'll say hello. And it's lovely just to go through anyway, Xzavia, and see, you know, all the beautiful comments that you get after the show. I'm trying to go to the start just to be fair to those. Hi to Corinda. Hi from the UK. Now, Melissa, I've got Melissa, but I don't know if you've got a question for us. Laura Bramble, hello. Amy, hello.
Melissa's racking her brain.
And Tracy, I think Tracy said she's working on that. I so do. Maybe that was in response to the trust. Okay. Well, Mickey, okay. I've got Mickey, I've got Corinda. They haven't given me a question, just a hello, would love a reading. Marie, Patricia.
It's all right, we'll wait for the questions.
Yeah. Give us a question, ladies. Ooh. Otherwise, I'll just draw a... Okay, Michelle. Would love a reading regarding twin flame. If he is present in my life now and the one I am meant to be with.
Okay, so who is
Michelle?
Michelle. Does she know she has a twin flame, or does she like?
Michelle would love a reading regarding twin flames. So I think she wants to know if he is present in my life now and the one I am meant to be with. That's a little bit. I'm not sure if this is someone she is with at the moment, or if she wants to know if this twin flame is present.
I'm picking up. Yeah. Because not everybody has a twin flame. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knows that. So I'm just picking up.
Yes, tell us a little bit about twin flame.
Yeah, so I'm just picking up. I'm not sure if she is a twin flame, and it doesn't matter. Not everybody needs to have a twin flame. There's a certain amount, and so the really quick, very basic explanation, because I could go on about this for hours. A lot of souls chose to separate from part of their own soul, split in half. One half is divine masculine, one half is divine feminine. And their lesson is to try to come and find each other in every life. And sometimes, and that's part of the whole growth, and it sort of accelerates their growth because they're constantly trying to figure out how to unite, because then they're kind of stronger together. But the trick is you've got to be strong on your own before you find them. You've got to have evolved and got to a certain stage in your life, at least one of you anyway. There's a lot of rubbish out there about twin flames as well. A lot of misconceptions.
So we all have one, but we haven't all chosen to meet up with that twin flame in this lifetime.
Well, there's actually only 88,000 pairs of twin flames. So there's actually not everybody has a twin flame. We all have lots of soulmates or like really strong and special important relationships that we're supposed to be with people, but not everyone has a twin flame. So usually, though, if you are drawn to twin flames, you're interested in it, then you often do have one. So in a more in-depth twin flame reading, when I meet the person and I can see maybe I can tune in and, I'm not sure. I'm not feeling exactly that Michelle does have a twin flame.
Okay.
But there's things I'm going to draw a card for her because I feel like there's something she needs to work on. And I'm going to check on the person that she's thinking about because I can feel their energy, because there's someone she suspects she has this karmic connection with, and she's had many lives with them, but I'm just going to check in a bit more to see if they actually are a twin flame or just an important person that she's supposed to reconnect with in this life or not. So I'm going to have a look at that.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Terrific. Sounds great to me.
All right, so let's have a look.
And ladies, while Xzavia is tuning in for Michelle, if any of you would like a first key reading, you just need to post your first name as a comment under this post, and I will do some numerology on that and give you a little bit of a reading on that as we go, or just after the show. It's lovely.
Okay.
We've got lots of love for you tonight. Lots of love readings.
Good. Awesome.
Okay, you go, Michelle.
Yeah. So I don't see this big, there's a lot of lovey-dovey cards in here. I'm not getting one of those. I got the action card, which shows me there's kind of like there's been things happening under the surface, and if you wanted to approach this person and do something about it, you need to actually take the steps and do it. Got the communication card again, showing you need to actually speak up and say, hey, Phil, or actually just ask them yourself. I know we all get shy and we want to check the cards to find out if somebody's the right person for us, but if you just communicate with them and be brave, ask for courage, put your hands on your kidneys. I learnt this from my favourite Feng Shui lady. Put your hands on your kidneys and ask for courage.
Love it.
To communicate better. And then I drew another card because I felt I wanted to check what's holding you back, and it's showing me attachment. So maybe because you are with somebody else and you're not sure if that is the right relationship for you, and this person is somebody who you think might be out of reach, but you're feeling drawn to them or feel a really strong connection with, which is totally okay. That's just how life is sometimes. Trust me, I know that's happened to me. So that's what it feels like. It feels like you have an attachment elsewhere, whether it be a person or a circumstance, or you've got children and you don't want a relationship, whatever it is. That might be what's holding you back. So if you can just recognize it's still worth, you could still have the conversation and ask and see if there's anything there. Yes, but I'm not seeing it doesn't feel like a massive twin soul kind of relationship.
But you're feeling that there's somebody around at the moment.
Yeah, it's somebody that I know who she's thinking, I can see who she's thinking about. She has somebody in mind. That's why she's asking. And yes, it feels like an important relationship, but she actually just needs to ask herself and talk and break down some of those boundaries. I think we've got a theme of communication happening already. There's two people.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
That is so great. Okay, so I'm just going through and having a look at, Corinda. So now Melissa, we did one for Melissa Island?
We had Michelle and...
We've had Tracy and Michelle.
That's
okay, lovely. Okay, Corinda is my twin flame present. We'll come back to Corinda. Let me write that down. It's nice to get lots of newbies tonight, which is awesome. And I've got you down, Kendall. Kerry, here's just a question for you, Xzavia, which is lovely. So Kerry is asking, can a friend be a twin flame?
Yes. So a twin flame, the two halves are often one is divine masculine, one is divine feminine. Whether you're male or female, even if you're male, you can be divine feminine, vice versa. You just might have that trait stronger, gay or straight as well. It doesn't matter. So yes, you can. My favorite mentor, she's a twin flame and with her best friend. So that's how I learned that. Wow. And then I looked into a bit more. So there's no strict rules. There's also rules about one has to be a chaser and a runner and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't. Wow. That's a very kind of stereotypical explanation of how it works. And sometimes they say there's got to be a big age gap and all these things, but
lovely. Not all. So obviously, if we come to you for a twin, we can come to you for a twin flame reading and healing. And do you also teach? Yes, I definitely.
I've got a course coming up soon to teach people how to be psychic, basically.
Wonderful.
And I do one-on-one mentoring at the moment, which is fantastic. So for newbies that are new at everything, I want to learn from scratch, how do I tune in, how do I open my third eye, everything. And then to people who are already on the path, I do a more specific, we have a chat about what you want to learn or unlearn as well, because we don't always learn from the right teachers all the time. So teaching, like working out what you want to work on. You might just want one aspect of what I teach to learn, and because you already know other things you want to incorporate in your business. So I just tailor it to suit you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle came back with a little bit of feedback. Yes, there are 2 people in my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I hope you have fun sorting that one out.
That is so great. Okay, so Michelle, I feel that a soul connection with one more than the other.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for the feedback. That's awesome. We did Tracy Munro. Thank you. Michelle said thank you so much. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Okay. Ladies, I'd love you to go to Xzavia's page and join her community. Come back, tell us that you have done that. And we would love, you know, a specific question as well. So Stephanie, hi, my daughter has special needs and it's really hard for her to meet a future partner. And it's really hard to meet a future partner. Would happen for me eventually. Oh, hi, my daughter has special needs. So it's really hard for me to meet a future partner. Will it happen for me eventually?
Okay, so first thing I want to say is please stop saying it's really hard for me to meet a future partner.
Beautiful, yes.
Because if you're saying that, you're creating blocks
Yes.
and you're putting up barricades of and excuses, because I know you have reasons because it's harder for you to get out or get free time, but you are blocking it extra by saying that. So we want to change your words to help attract some positive energy and put it out there and say, you can say things like, I am available, I deserve to be loved, I am bringing the perfect partner to me. Things like that. And that's the first thing. It's so important that you change your attitude about it first.
Love it. Words are important.
Yes, so important. Your thoughts and words are literally magnets. So if you imagine everything you say and think, and this is for everybody, everything you say and think is coming out and it's sticking to the same and bringing it back to you.
Yeah.
You think about when you whinge and complain or say you're feeling sick or you haven't got any money, can't afford this, all that kind of stuff, you're attracting more of the same. So lie, which is really called manifesting, and say what you actually want and what you are grateful for instead to get more of the same of that. That's how it works.
Actually, you put another, I liked the post that you put up, I think it was last week. You had a lovely little graph about that.
Oh, yes, I saw you.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, so I'm just drawing a card for her to say, so if she does that and gets in a good habit, because that's what the universe, her higher self, when I say they, I mean your higher self is giving you advice. So I always say if your higher self is talking to you, you should listen because they know a little bit more than you do. So if you do that and have a bit more of a positive look and believe you deserve happiness, we're just going to see if you can do that, what's coming. And if not, if it's not like anything coming up soon, then I'm going to ask what you need to do quickly. So let's see. If you do that, it will change. Okay. So we've got the hostilities card. So that shows me that it's more it's a lot of work we want you to do on yourself because it seems like you have a bit of hostile energy maybe towards yourself of how, because you haven't been able to put yourself out there, or even maybe, and it's okay to, I know you love your daughter and I know it would be tricky sometimes, and you're allowed to, especially as a mother, you're allowed to get frustrated that sometimes you feel stuck because of your responsibilities. It's okay to feel that. Like, don't feel guilty about that. Like, you're allowed to have all those different feelings, okay? But just to, you're learning lessons along the way. So I'm going to see what you need to do to help bring some more love into your life and letting go of any hostilities. It might be towards me, you're just feeling it because I'm telling you to be nicer to yourself. That's okay.
I agree. It is. It's tough, as a parent, because you do absolutely love your children no matter what. However, I know with my son, he had lots of, it was challenging in the early, in the primary school days. And so you do, it's okay to visit victimhood and feel, feel hard done by and feel, just don't get stuck there.
Yes, it's my favourite sayings. It's okay to get angry or upset, just don't unpack and live there.
Yes, love it.
So I'm just doing one more card quickly to see what does she need to do to help her along her way.
Lovely. This is for Stephanie.
Yes. So I got the card. So there's the broken heart card, which means they want you. We need to do a chakra balance for you. Working on your heart chakra, lots of self-love, giving yourself compliments, doing things that bring you joy, healing past trauma and hurt. There's a lot of stuff going on there. So after this, I'm just going to do an energetic sending you some heart healing, because I'm getting emotional just feeling the space that you're in. So I want to send a lot of love and help you with that along the way. But yeah, you're going to be fine. You just need to do some work on you first.
Yeah.
To bring you what you deserve. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you, Xzavia. So that was for Stephanie. So Stephanie, give us some feedback on that, and again, join Xzavia's community, and then you can book in, ladies. Xzavia is available for personal, for one-on-one readings, one-on-one mentoring, healing, and is also got some courses lined up. If you really, if you're drawn to all of this and it's time for you to actually start. All of us have, we all started that journey, at some point. I started the journey a long time ago. I was just absolutely thirsty. I was so thirsty for any and all spiritual. I read the books. I reckon I'd be a millionaire with, all the money I've spent on spiritual and personal and self-development. And I have to tell you, life has gone on that journey in the same way as it has for, for all of us. But knowing what I know and having learnt what I learnt, I'm so grateful for that each and every single day, because it's all the tools that I've learnt along the way that has held me in the best stead now. So I just can't talk highly enough of this. Is a gift. It's a gift to treat yourself to when you are drawn to a healer, drawn to a teacher, to absolutely go ahead and connect with them and, learn from them, because it's that's the first step. The step's going to get you going back to, as Xzavia said, remembering who you are, why you are here, and what you are meant to be doing.
Yes.
Yippee. Now we've got Kendall Knight. Kendall would love a reading. Of whether I will find my happy self back after leaving a toxic relationship. So we're going to, and Kendall, well, I might just do, while you're doing that, I'll do some numerology on Kendall. Awesome. I'm going to assume that's your real name there. Kendall, I'll do some numerology on your name, and your first key number in numerology is what you must do and who you must become and where you must apply that effort and action to move forward from where you are at into that better life for yourself. So it's usually something that we don't want to do, or that we struggle with, or that we feel a bit fearful of. But once we suck it up and feel the fear and do it anyway, that's the thing that moves you forward. So I'm going to do some numerology on Kendall.
Beautiful.
So this is for Kendall Knight.
Okay. So I pulled 2 cards again for Kendall. So it was about seeing you find, I think it was like finding your joy, or like being on a happier path since leaving a toxic relationship. So the first card I asked is like sort of where you're at and then where you're going. Where you're at, I got the deceit card, because that's a bit of a sneaky card, and that just represents the relationship you came out of. Somebody who might use your name in a negative way, like someone who's not really saying nice things about you, behind your back or in front of your back, in front of you, like that's just representing that. And I'm really glad you've broken away from that. Well done. It's a lot of effort, and you're putting yourself first. So of course you will heal. You just by being free, just by being free. That's a really great start. And the next card I got coming up was Caring Connections. So how perfect is that? I was very happy with that card.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that just shows me it's the people in your circle caring for you, self-care for yourself. And they've just really drawn my attention now to the flowers. So this is one that it's just showing me you don't have to rely on other people to make you happy. If you want flowers, romance, good things in life, go buy them for yourself. Buy your own flowers. Run yourself a bath, light some candles, do some beautiful things for yourself and romance yourself, because that will attract in this beautiful vibes. You got some healing to do, and it will take a bit of time, but you just got to start by doing things for yourself. And you've taken the first step.
Yeah, I love it because it ties in with, so I've done some numerology on Kendall. So in numerology, what we do by Kendall is we apply a number to every letter in your name. And out of your first name, I get your first key number. And lo and behold, it comes out, all the numbers add up to 20, and 2 plus 0 is 2. And the number 2 is all about self-love and self-appreciation. Right, and I tell you, from all of the coaching and readings and mentoring I've done over the years, and myself included, you know, nothing grows in a hostile environment. So when we are being hostile in that innerverse, when we are talking, you know, beating ourselves up and putting ourselves down with our self-talk and thoughts, that's a hostile environment.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody not prosper and grow better when they're exercising self-love and self-appreciation. So the first thing with that number 2 is appreciate yourself. Okay, and that means, you know, as much as we point out, we're always very keen to point out all the negatives. So it's about just pointing out the positives. Sure, there's plenty of negatives. We're all a work in progress. We're all flawsome. I like to say we're all flawsome. But you need to bring some balance to that thinking by thinking putting some effort and attention into the positives, the strengths, because you have them. We all have them. The other thing with the number 2 is the diplomat. It's not the doormat. So stop letting people walk all over you, and it's not the dictator. So it's not all about what I want. Okay, with the number 2, it's about cooperation. And it's about unity, and it ties in beautifully with the card that Xzavia drew there, which was the male and the female. So the feminine and the masculine within us needs to align first before we can attract that in another, which again goes back to what Xzavia was saying with the twin flame, that it's about being independent first and then being able to attract that that twin flame, if that's what you've chosen to do. So number 2 is cooperation. It's about unity. So really becoming a partner unto yourself. But the number 2 is, if you want to move forward, you're not going to do so by focusing only on your needs or focusing only on their needs. The number 2 is the diplomat. The number 2 is about, cooperation. It's about collaboration. It's about partnership. So have a look for where you can, where the energy is imbalanced. If it's too much about them or too much about me, then the energy is imbalanced. And it's also sensitivity, Kendall. So if there's a high level of sensitivity, if the sensitivity is being directed in instead of out, then what happens, Xzavia, is we become overly sensitive and more sensitive to how I'm feeling, and then I'm very insensitive to others, and then again the energy is imbalanced. So to move forward, it's really about checking for where the imbalances lay and then correcting that. If it's too much going in, then have a look at what can I do? What can I do to help others? What can I give in the situation that'll make the situation, I can move through it with more ease and grace and glory? Or if it's too much about others, then what can I give to myself? It's probably going to be about her giving to herself, isn't it, Xzavia?
Yeah. That's why she has her name and why it equals that number. And that's why she had that relationship to learn the lesson, so she can understand and learn that balance. So we think, where parents think they choose our names, but we actually send it down to them and pop it in.
Exactly.
When did you know that? I think I learned that from a numerologist. So that's how you get the number.
Exactly right. We do think, our parents do think that they chose it, but in actual fact, whatever we've come to work through, it's right in the name. And you know what, Xzavia, what's really interesting is that I have done readings for people that were adopted, and when we do, and those ladies knew their adopted name. And what's fascinating is that the energy didn't change all that much from the birth name to the adopted name. The lessons were the same, the challenges were the same. And in actual fact, with one student, it was back when I was teaching, one student, the birth mother and the adopted mother was the same energy, same strengths and weaknesses. So, I mean,
that's cool.
It's very cool.
I found out during a meditation that I've always had the same birthday. in all my lives. So
really,
for whatever reason, I'm supposed to have the same numbers. Yeah.
That's amazing. I just love it. I just love it. I love the synchronicity, and I love, as you say, I love you know, when you really get down and deep into it. I love that, you know, if you believe in the spiritual and you believe in reincarnation and you really get into yourself at that soul level, then what happens is you just don't have to work that hard at it. You know, it is what it is. And yeah.
You can just trust and relax a bit more.
Yeah.
Be happier.
So let's see who else you can help. Now, I did have, okay, so Kendall, give us some feedback on that. Let us know. Oh, thank you, beautiful ladies. Xzavia, you made me cry. That's Stephanie. She said she will be in contact.
Oh, beautiful.
Yay.
I have that effect on people, sorry.
That's gorgeous. I love it.
Oh, that means there's lots of healing happening, so that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't think we did one for Nicole, did we?
I'm not great with names, but don't think
no, me either. That's why I do write them down. Nicole, I don't think we've done one for you. Nicole said she had a date tonight, but it cancelled just before I was about to walk out the door. I've been single for 17 years. Will I ever find love? I'm only 44 years old.
I love that you said only. Excellent. I love that.
Yes, yes. So we're going to see what Xzavia comes up with for you, Nicole. But as you can see, Xzavia is fantastic, intuitive healer, psychic medium. I want you to click on that link and join her page and you know, take it from there. We are only doing lives and complimentary readings whilst we are live in Spiritual Events Directory page. But, you know, absolutely connect with Xzavia and be privy and be in her space to, you know, really get to know her and her fabulous tools.
All right. I'm asking, first of all, why did he stand you up? I'm going to check the energy around him, what's going on, so you can find out if it's with good intentions or not. That's why I love these cards. And I'm also, what they're actually just sort of, I'm getting yelled at is for you to recognize it's not a negative thing. If you cancel last minute, it's because it's not supposed to happen tonight for whatever reason. You're getting saved from something.
Yes, love it.
Or the universe is just saying, maybe you're saying, oh, we'll check the cards first, but they might be saying, not the right person, we're going to cancel that because there's somebody better for you around the corner. And I know I can hear you going, 17 years. So the universe has obviously decided, like your higher self, you don't need any more lessons at the moment with relationships, because if you did, there'd be people coming into your life not working out, teaching you lessons. They're waiting to find the right person because you're ready for the right person. So first, yes, I'm just going to have a quick look to see what's going on and why this person cancelled a last minute, and we'll see the energy around that to see if it was like pure intentions, like, or he made up something or whatever. Let's have a look at that first. Can't get anything past me. My partner's very brave, man. Oh, you got the caring connections card. So I think he's being truthful. Whatever the excuse he gave, it's not the deceit card or the sneaky card or anything like that. I feel like whatever the reason was, it was honest. So give him another chance, I would definitely say with that one. Or at least he wasn't lying about whatever the reason was. So it's not just ditching you because he changed his mind. Okay, so that's good. So, yeah, so be grateful. When something like that happens, something goes wrong or someone loses their job or something happens, it's the universe makes things not work or uncomfortable for you, so you'll move. So things will change. Yes. It's not a punishment. The universe isn't out to get you. They're trying to help you. You just got to notice. So what's coming up for you and what you need to do to get there? 2 more cards. I'm sure you're doing her numbers at the same time.
Oh, okay, Nicole. Let me see what's going on with you.
Oh, awesome. All right. So the reason, Nicole, you have been single for all this time is because this part of your lesson is I've been really drawn to the butterfly in this card. It's a woman holding heart. It's a woman who knows her stuff, who's very in touch with herself, who's confident. The butterfly is just all about the blossoming and the new beginnings. Doesn't mean you're supposed to be alone or anything, but you're on the right path. Like whatever's happening in your life is meant to be happening. You've got the temple path card. So the path that you've been following, everything that's going on is all happening for a reason. You're guided by these lights are your spirit guides. You're being very well looked after, and to make sure that everything flows nicely. So your lesson is to learn to be content. As soon as you are completely happy within yourself, if you feel like I'll be happier when I have someone to share my life with, then that's why it's pushing it away. It's like it's you need to be completely love yourself sick, I like to say, like so much. Stand in front of the mirror naked and not complain about anything. And if you can do that, then you'll attract someone who deserves you, who will not complain about anything about you either. And that's where they want you to be before the right person comes in. So there's a little tiny bit of tweaking to go. I don't feel they'll feel like you're very far off.
Yeah.
And then you'll find the right person.
And I'm a big believer, Xzavia, that you know, it's whatever's going on the inside is what we attract on the outside.
That's a quote on my page.
Yeah.
On my Instagram.
There you go. So with Kendall before, you know, Kendall had that number 2, and you know, the number 2 is so terrific for partnership. Number 2 is definitely when that comes up in terms of a cycle, then the energy is just ripe and ready for union and partnership and love and romance. But first, we have to have that within ourselves. So you bring that together within yourself, and you attract that on that outer level. Now with Nicole, when you held up that card, it was actually number 44, and that really struck me because her first key number is actually also the number 4. And the number 4 is very much about commitment. So I'd be saying, Nicole, I'd be backing up what Xzavia said, that love yourself sick. It's actually about becoming your own best friend and making a commitment. So are you committed to you? When you are committed to you, then the way that you, you know, you think, the way that you talk, the way that you behave is all going to be in your best interest. So, you know, what's your commitment like to you? And as Xzavia said to me, if that happened, not to say, I mean, we all want to be loved. Over the course of my experience, I realised that there were, you know, the 2 things that we all have in common is we all want to be loved and we all want to be safe. And if those 2 things are threatened, if we don't feel loved or we don't feel safe, it makes us behave in all sorts of ways that are unlikable. It makes us behave in all sorts of ways that may not be who we are or who we want to be, right? So the number 4 is definitely about, number 4 wants to control, wants to be safe, wants to be assured. So I would say, you know, when you commit to yourself, that you will actually, if something like that happened, when you have that commitment to yourself and you really are your own best friend, then something like that occurs where they cancel or they don't turn up. Then firstly, if I have that spiritual, that depth of spiritual belief, then I know, as Xzavia said, that it's in my best interest. I've had that happen in my life, and I actually avoided, it actually helped me to avoid someone that may not have been the best person for me, or it could have avoided, as Xzavia said, it could have avoided you going out and who knows what might have happened. But also,
make some bad sushi or something.
Yeah. But that 44, that card that you had, Xzavia, was 44, and 4 + 4 = 8. So again, it's about commitment to yourself, Nicole, but also about owning your power. Number 8 is very much, you're either going to be overpowering or powerless, and neither of those ways. If you've been powerless and overpowering, you're on path. But the balance again is to be empowered. It's really to be able to stand in your power, own your power, and not to feel that you've missed out on anything. You know, the TV is cancelled. You trust that it's for the right reasons, and that card was really reassuring. You know, whatever will be. But if you have that commitment to yourself, if you are absolutely building solid ground from the inside out with that number 4. So number 4 is to check, are you with control? Are you in control, out of control, or are you controlling? And again, the ideal is to be in control on that inner level, to really be mastermind, not monkey mind, to really be filling yourself up with self-appreciation, not you know, beating yourself up and putting yourself down, and then really building that trust, building that self-belief and faith in you. If those 3 things are absolutely being looked out and looked after within you, honestly, Xzavia said, it's not long. It's not too far away.
I love all these little synchronicities we're having with our readings. This is good.
It's so good. And it always happens, Xzavia. This is why, to me, I just think...
I'm not surprised. It's just how it
yeah.
works. Because we're in flow, and the people on here, and yeah, they need to reiterate. It's good for the people listening, so they know that the message is accurate. So you're getting a confirmation because we're both saying similar things. So,
and it's have you ever read the Celestine Prophecy, Xzavia?
No.
Well, you will love it. That book, I read that book a long, long time ago, and it was all about that when you really are in sync, you know, within every conversation, there's something for us to, we're either in the conversation to learn something or to share something.
Yeah.
And that if we are just, you know, in tune and in sync with that, it's just a lovely back and forth that'll always lead you to the next step.
Yeah. Love it.
It always leads you to that next step. And it could be, you know, that cancellation could be, the energy could be opening up for somebody else to come through. Or what I love it. One of our lovely ladies in the community told this story, actually, Xzavia, where she thought he was the one, but it turned out after a long story, he wasn't the one, but he led her to the one.
Yes. Not surprised. That's just being in flow. So noticing, that's what flow is, just noticing all those little signs of synchronicity and being positive about them and not letting it get you down. Because, yeah.
Exactly. It's so great, isn't it? Okay, now, beautiful, Kendall. Wow, I've completely felt this. This brought me to tears. Thank you so much. I am really digging deep to find more self-love.
Beautiful.
Spot on. Oh, I love it, Xzavia. That is so awesome. Okay, now I did have, I've got Melissa Ireland and Corinda Hall. You know, it's a shame we can't do all of you ladies, but, you know, we'll see. I will try and do a couple after the show. Lydia, Trish, Lisa, we had lots of lovely ladies contributing tonight. But I did have some names down from ladies that, you know, commented really early in the session. I'd love to, Corinda Hall. Now, Corinda, did you have a question? Just trying to see if there's a question there. So now just share your website, Xzavia, and your Facebook page so that people can come and join your community and connect with you.
Cool. I was just going to see if I can add it. No, I can't do it from here. So my website's easy. That's OptiMystic with a Y, so mystic as in mystical, optimisticxzavia.com.au. It's the same on Facebook, and I have an Instagram page as well, and a YouTube channel. It's all happening. I got told we're all by one of my young mentees that Instagram and what is it called, YouTube videos are the way to go. So I'm trying to learn a bit more tech stuff and get out there a bit more.
Excellent, and it is a huge learning curve.
Yeah, I love it. So I have, and I've taught her as well. So it's fantastic. I've got little mini me's out there doing what I do, which is fantastic. I might be joining my team as well. So
great.
Love it.
That is awesome. Now, Corinda also had a twin flame question. Is my twin flame present now in my life? Corinda asks.
First, I'll just check if she has one. Okay, so when I was asking if she has one or has someone like that in her life, I got the appreciation card. So they're just showing me, they're not giving me a proper answer. Which means she's not. So sometimes we're not supposed to be told things because otherwise it distracts you from the lesson, because you've got to figure some out for yourself. And that sounds really convenient when you're getting a reading. It's like, oh, well, if you don't want to answer, it just means I have to find out myself. But the appreciation card is see this card, this is the message, that another message on top of all that to do with relationship stuff they want you to learn is she's got bramble bushes all behind her, but She's appreciating the rose, what she has. So she's showing gratitude for something that she has. And because of that, there's some more flowers starting to bloom behind her. So it's just reminding you to focus on what is working in your life and what you do have, rather than what you feel like you might be missing out on. And that's for everybody. I feel like that message. But
yes.
So don't worry about, don't keep focusing on a twin flame or some other half being there. Just, it's like what we were talking about before. Focus on what you've got going good for you, because when you do that, you're going to attract the right energy partnerships to come into your life. So
wonderful. And I'll just pull a little card there for you, Corinda, and we'll see what that says. What have we got? Transformed. A circumstance or event has suddenly transformed an existing position, causing you to move a step closer to your goal.
nice.
How terrific is that? And that's actually lifetime 100. So I would add to that you know, the number one is very much about and flows on from what Xzavia just said. The number one is very much about you know, standing on my own 2 feet, really finding my own independent self, really working on having that faith and belief and trust in me. And then everything else. Honestly, again, I've never seen anybody take that assertive step and it not work out in their very best interests. Everybody I know that has taken that assertive step and really started to, you know, the thing about life is we all want to be seen. We all want to be seen and appreciated, and yet we have that fear of standing out, right? We want to be seen, but we then go, you know, I'm afraid of what people will say, what people will think, what people will do. So it's really, the more you build, you don't have to worry about that. The more you become your own best friend and build that belief in yourself, then you will just naturally shine, and you won't feel, you won't be concerned about all those things we become concerned about that hold us back. So transformed. Yippee. Okay, I think we've got time for one more. And
awesome.
That'll be it, ladies. And thank you for joining us. We've had about 30 of you watching us the entire time, and we are very grateful and thankful for that. We love what we do, and we've, you know, each and all of us that come into this conversation, we've been, as Xzavia said, we've been doing this for, you know, in numerology, you can look at your spirit initiation number, and you can see from that as well. We've also got past life fears in numerology, and karmic lesson and karmic debt. So you can really get some good insight into the kind of lives you've had, you've lived in the past. I also love Astrology for the Soul. I don't know if you've ever seen that book, Xzavia. Also gives you, and Xzavia actually specialises in past life, so I forgot about that. I wanted to get some insight into what you do. Like, how do you help us to get there? How can you help us with our past life stuff?
Past lives. So the way I would do past lives is the way I was taught. When I did a course, but I've learned a lot more as I channel a lot more information about it as I'm working. So there's so much more to past lives. Sometimes I feel I struggle with even calling them past lives, because there is no time, and a lot of things, it's all happening at the same time, really. We have an oversoul, and our body cannot contain our whole soul. It'll literally explode. It's too much energy. So we actually splinter off. And this is a bit of the woo-woo stuff. It's on the right channel for this conversation, but we splinter off into many different bodies all at once. All at the same time, like doing different things at the same time. So some things are past and some things are happening at the same time. And so I can pick up on that when I'm doing a past life reading. But it's a healing and release. So I see it like a movie. I tune in to you. You might have a specific thing that you're fascinated with, a country, a timeline or something. And so if you are curious, or you want to know if a certain person's been in your life, or there's a pattern, you can ask, and I'll specifically look at that. But otherwise, so I ask if there's a past life connected to that issue or fascination or whatever that needs clearing and healing. If not, can we see the most important one that we need to release now? So otherwise I'll just look for whatever needs releasing now. So then I'll visit it. So I see it like a movie. I can zoom in, pause, rewind, ask questions. I can tell if somebody is someone that you in that life that you already know in this life too. So someone you're curious about.
Wow.
And then you might have skills and knowledge, but this might be traumatic things. So I release anything that was painful, negative lessons, anything traumatic, I release that from your subconscious, because sometimes we pull them through into this life and they can be affecting us now. We haven't quite cleared them when we were like sort of in between lives. We might have carried it through, so I need to clear it. So it's important. A lot of people say, I found out I had a past life here, or here, or doing this, but they didn't get it cleared or released for them. So it's like an open wound that needs healing. So we need to release it, send it away. But then if there's some skills or lessons or knowledge or wonderful things that you learned, then I can incorporate that into your subconscious now to help you in this life and in future lives as well. So that's beautiful. And then I wrap you up in a cocoon of beautiful light to make sure nothing's left like open or anything. And then you don't have to worry about it. It's not something like, if anything negative happened to you, it's gone, it's released. So you don't have to worry about it or think about it as part of your personality if it was something that you think doesn't resonate with you now. There's so much to it, but I really
that's awesome.
Doing it.
So there you go, ladies. If you want to know, and this is the thing, with past lives, I was never one to, go into it that deeply, but sometimes you need to know where you've been in order to heal where you're at, so you can now move forward and evolve. So Corinda said, wonderful, thank you for my reading, much appreciated, blessings to you both. So that is absolutely awesome. So who's going to be our last reading? Deb, will my most compatible soulmate find me this year?
Oh, awesome.
Oh, well, Deb, let's have a little look.
But that's the theme going at the moment, isn't it?
It really is, and how interesting, because I didn't put we did have a little bit about the twin flame in the description in the post when I was introducing you, but at the same time we didn't really focus on that. But how wonderful we've attracted, the audience we've attracted tonight, Xzavia, is all about twin flame. And I know that in future, it'll be you and your partner, which will be very powerful.
It's at work at the moment, but another time we'll have to introduce you, because we love doing this together. So then you get the balance of divine masculine.
Yeah, and that can be, Xzavia, we can, in the future, we can plan a beautiful session with the two of you. That'd be awesome.
Yes, he'd love that. He'd love that. He's very excited.
Oh, that's great. Right. Okay, Deb, you're our lucky last.
Let's have a look. So, Deb, we're just seeing if you're the right, like, I think you said the rest of your life soulmate, or like the right, okay. It's coming by the end of your
Deb, will my most compatible soulmate find me this year?
So just your higher self is just having a giggle at you saying find me by the end of this year, because it's like there's like to find a partner you can't just sit on the couch. you gotta turn the light on. Maybe you go out and socialize, and because we're allowed out, so all right, so I'm going to see how you're going to turn the light on so they can find you. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so it's just showing me that there's been some dramas in the past about that. Maybe you have been a bit hard on yourself, or there's been some negativity in relationships, because I've got the hostilities card in the past. Maybe even it kind of feels like maybe you've had just negative comments from people about relationships or something. That's what I'm feeling. I'm not sure what that's about exactly. But aside from that, I'm focusing on the next card, which is the Sun. So the Sun card in this deck is very much like the Sun card in the tarot deck. It's about
I love the Sun card.
Yes, it's new beginnings, sunshine, rainbows, happiness, positive energy. So that actually feels like a really good sign to me. But because I said they show me about saying turn the light on so they can find you, very symbolic with the sun at the top here. So my mentality about work is like what I do is I want to shine so really bright so the right people can find me. And so it's the same with you. Don't sit in the dark with the light off watching TV. If you want to find the right partner, get out there, do things that you enjoy, because if you're the right partner for you that resonates with you is going to find you in the same area, aren't they? Like if you really like reading, they might find you in a library. I'm a bit old-fashioned like that. So, I like the idea of you walking down a library aisle and then you move a book and then they're right behind. I love that romantic. If you like open mic nights or karaoke or going to museums, go do more of that, because they're going to find the person, you know, you're going to meet someone and get talking, but you need to put a light on saying, I'm here, you know, dye your hair purple, wear bright yellow, something, I don't know, just stand out. So they can find you and be shiny and positive, because otherwise, if you're not out there smiling and happy, they're not going to be drawn to your energy. So you got to be shiny.
I love that. Thank you. That really, yes. What a different way to think about it. I love that. You know, shine the light. You know, be in the best possible position to be seen.
Yes, and the negative, dark kind of energy doesn't like bright lights. They kind of go like that.
Yes,
so that's my that's how I feel. I don't protect myself. I just be really shiny, because that way the negative stuff doesn't want to come near me, because it's like, ew.
Yeah.
It's way too positive for me. I'm not going over there.
That's great. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your gift and telling us your story, Xzavia. It's been absolutely so much fun, and we've had some fantastic feedback from the ladies that you've read for this evening. They have absolutely loved it. So thank you very much to Xzavia.
Thanks for having me. It was really nice meeting some people from the community, and I'm going to go through the messages and have a look and look at your faces and stuff. So I hope you got profile photos, because I want to send lots of love and do some healing and stuff like that. So
Yippee, thank you so much. How awesome. And ladies, you've all been really spoiled this evening, and thank you for joining us. And as we said, you know, tell all your friends and family that are like-minded souls to follow us each Sunday evening, 6 to 7 p.m. And come and join our wellness community as well, and join Xzavia's community to stay in touch and to really be, again, in the best possible position to have all of that love and good feelings, you know, shone upon you, so that you can shine out there in the world too. Wow. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.